All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You are looking at Ian Williams and Chris Poole tied at 1 apiece in a first-to-win three-point finals of the 59th Congressional Cup here in Long Beach, California. Once again, I'm Tucker Thompson with Scott Dixon, and Rosie Rowell has jumped in the hot seat. We've got Marilyn Cassidy as well, and thanks to all of you guys for watching around the world as this amazing marathon of match racing comes to a close this afternoon in Long Beach. In 3 seconds, we'll have the entry. Ian Williams right there coming in from the right of screen against Chris Poole. We are on board with. Poole has to avoid because Williams has rights. Here we go. We've also got Harry joining us live from Connecticut, former winner of the Congressional Cup, and it is on all to play for as these two teams are tied.
Williams entering from the starboard end, yellow. Chris Poole looks a little bit faster there. Williams very slow, controlled dial up and staying clear.
It's a good time to look upwind and see where the breeze is going to favor, left or right. What do you think, Rosie?
Looks to me like it's filled in a little from the right-hand side of the course. So keep an eye on it as it trickles down.
Going behind him.
Chris Poole says he's going to go behind. That's a big call.
Wait.
Has he got it? You see how Ian did not accelerate there? He said wait. But Poole did it. Big move. Poole is just sailing really well.
Are we faster?
I think he was saying wait, 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 as in crew wait.
No, I'm sticking to my guns there. Either way.
I know you got my back there, Dave.
Got
Power off, red button.
Poole's now trailing
I'm with
Ian.
you, Scotty.
Williams leading. Length and a half.
It's Tucker's
2:30 to
show.
go. See, I couldn't even hear them. I think they're making fun of me, but I wasn't listening. Are you, Rosie?
No, I'm quite focused on what's happening
There
just
you
in
go.
front of me,
That
actually.
makes one of us. That makes one of us. Thank God you're here, Rosie. 2 minutes 20 to go. Poole trailing Williams.
So one of the metrics, the things that we measure before the start is the time from the end of the pier to the race committee boat, and I'm guessing that time is probably seconds.
The end of the pier is just off right of screen. You're going to see it as both on to starboard and head towards it now.
Main on.
So Williams has come back quite early, anticipating that Poole is going to take the lead off him here.
The pier is an obstruction. Trailing boat cannot go inside there. And he says he's got room. How's that, Scotty? How's that possible?
He's still giving us room. Cut.
Is he right?
You're overlapped it to the zone there, boy. Overlapped at the zone.
It's got to be.
Oh, Poole has to be careful here. You see his stern
Don't go
swinging
in
up.
there. There's not room in there. Come on.
Collision.
No room in there.
Going to be a penalty between no boundaries here.
Oh, the boats are locked
You're breaking
together.
up.
They
What
are
are you
locked together.
doing?
Look at that. Look at the stanchions.
There's no way there's room in there.
They're locked in there. They are stuck.
You've turned into that. You've turned down into
goodness.
that. You've turned down into that.
This start's going to be in the hands of the umpires, and it's a blue flag penalty. That's Chris Poole.
You should think about a red, guys. We're in trouble here. We're in big trouble.
So that's Williams saying, hey, Poole got the penalty, but he got the advantage in the situation too. So a flag penalty would mean that Poole has to do it immediately after the start.
I'll tell you what, folks, you got what you paid for coming out to watch this finals today. It is all on between Poole and Williams.
When to go, Jerry?
Let's make sure we watch that replay again. The boats were physically locked together, stanchions intertwined. That was crazy.
Go, Jerry. Okay, tacking.
15 seconds to go. Williams splitting to the right of Poole. Have the left. Who's going to have it right when they go upwind? And Poole, remember how as the clock ticks down and the tension heats up.
This is going to be a slow start for Williams. Watch him. You can see him
Tacking now, guys.
lifting up and over. No, he goes into a full tack. He initially said he was going to shoot the boat, which is not what it sounds like. It's shooting head to wind.
Because there was an overlap and Rule 15 was off at the moment, and we didn't answer.
Squeeze it up.
We didn't answer as possible.
Thank you, Kirk Brown, our umpire expert. Look at this cross. Can Poole get a cross? No. Tell you it was close, though. That was a conservative move, Scotty, to tack to Leeward, but Poole has the edge right now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, so Poole, by virtue of tacking in front of Williams there, forcing Williams to do one extra tack each time they come together.
We'll just see a bit of water, a bit of lefty on the water close to Poole's bow. Do you see that, or am I just things up?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
usually
can see it. It'll be interesting to see if he goes out there and commits to it, or if he comes back again trying to lure Ian Williams in.
Williams is out to the right. Scotty, that righty that before the start, it's out there, but I don't know if it's coming down the track quick enough.
It is definitely not filling through to the bottom half of the course. It's just how hard you'll to roll the dice. You know, whether you want to put the family home, the farm, and everything on. It's still a very spotty race course.
It is a big split, and Dave Perry, since you've got a sixth sense for the wind, which side do you smell all the way back from Connecticut in this split?
I have a different answer for you, Tucker. When we were racing Congressional Cup back in the day, we had a mantra, which is hug the conservative book. In other words, when you have a choice, do the conservative thing. And you don't know what the wind's going to do. Think what the wind's going to do. How many times do you hear people say, "Oh, I thought it was more right, but it was left"? But Ian has a penalty. I mean, Chris has a penalty. So, and the left has been pretty strong. Ian bent on the left. So, if I was Ian, I just wouldn't give Chris any leverage to the left because Chris has a penalty.
Dave, just as you say that, he's given him massive leverage, and it looks like Chris is getting nicely wound up. Would you agree?
I don't think it matters sometimes what you think the wind's going to do. I think you're in control of the risk that you put into the situation.
He is now up with pressure.
I'll tell you right now, just looking at Poole and his team, they are all on the rail, fully hiking. And when we looked at Williams' boat a fraction earlier, they were not quite hiking as hard, were they? And there it is. That's a great shot there. And that is Poole crossing. To my mind, that's close. It's going to be very close.
You want to dial?
Still close.
Ready for a dial. Joachim, I don't have this.
Joachim, I don't have this. That's
Marginal piece. I don't think he's got it.
wow. It's going to be close. Poole has to keep clear.
Do you agree, Jerry? It's too close.
No, it doesn't get much closer than that. This is fantastic. Williams doesn't tack. Hips up to windward of Poole, who's only just ahead after that tack.
Big chop, unfortunately.
The big call to live there for Ian. Yeah.
But they are,
he gets out.
they are at lay line. You can hear Williams' team saying, "We're there."
Okay, that's good.
There's the mark.
Good call by Ian then.
Yellow
Are they going
mark,
to yellow,
so
though?
it's confirmed.
Okay,
Yellow
in the
mark.
background, you can see the mark off the oil island. It's confusing with all three marks.
Yeah, they're all quite close together, aren't they? A little bit unusual.
Yeah, pole up. We're not going to.
Did Ian take a little
You need to
thing
go
there?
faster here, guys. Focus on speed, please.
Still has that extra speed edge. You can hear Williams talking about it. Look at
Don't
Poole.
forget, under the match racing rule, Ian can tack if that's the proper course here.
On
So
port.
Ian's going to round the mark, and I doubt he'll veer away. He might just hold Chris up here.
Let's see. I was going to say to Dave, let's see if you're right, but I already know he's always right. There it is. He was luffing.
Flag it.
Poole advancing.
Hey, come on. Go high.
I give Ian credit for his Hollywood efforts.
Now
man.
watch for the jibe from
Right,
Poole
Chris
here.
up here.
They're talking about the jibe. It's going to be close. No, I think Poole might have. I don't know if he had a window there. You can see Joachim Aschenbrenner with his hand on the main sheet. So another lead change.
That was close. Big moment for Poole. Remember, he still has to get rid of that penalty. And this is like a replay of the last race.
When you're commentating, you know, you can always seem like you're right, but Ian did something there which usually doesn't work when you're a lured boat. If you luff the windward boat, it actually makes it easier for the windward boat to get around your bow. I think if Ian had just held straight there, borne off 10 degrees, then he would have been safer. So
He's jibing.
Do you remember?
at least now we have the lead boat with a penalty, which is what every spectator dream is.
Remember Who Wants to Be a Millionaire where you could phone a friend? If I was match racing, I'd phone Dave Perry every time. Dave?
Do you agree?
The problem is, Tucker, I think Dave would be the one asking the questions, wouldn't he?
Jiving now. Let's get a nice fast jive here, guys.
Anyway,
There you
it's
go,
a
mate.
good match race for anyone who doesn't know
2, 1,
match racing.
and
They're
press.
seeing a really masterclass in how to do it.
Teams coming together again on your
One
left
question for
is
you,
Williams.
Sid. If he gets left
Right
gate,
is
do we
Poole.
follow him or do we split?
Listen to this
I
call.
think it's too biased.
That's Ian Williams talking about the leeward gates again, already talking about the next leg while they're halfway down the Spinnaker run.
Coming up. Coming up.
Now, as we approach the leeward gates, we timed it last time. Poole needed
What do you think about the bias here, Ted?
14, 15 seconds. He
How
certainly
much?
doesn't have that.
Okay, it's not that much, is it?
It is
I'd like to
amazing.
believe that
When you've got to go right gate tactics, surely.
anytime.
Unless you want to follow him left and try and hang.
There's a lot of indecision going on
It
here.
is the amount of information being exchanged on Williams' boat from the entire team.
Did we get a call? Did we get a
Go
decision
to our
yet?
ass.
Left or right, guys?
By dropping in the jibe.
We still
Yeah, I'm
don't
going
know.
to split then, whichever he does, we go the
One,
opposite.
go drop.
So it's
I agree. I think if Ian splits, but once he's up to speed, he should tack and not give Chris leverage.
That's a better drop by Chris Poole.
a beautiful rounding. Poole takes the right. Dave Perry counts the delta. Here we go. Williams has to sail a little extra distance there.
8, 9, 10.
10 seconds.
So
And
marginal.
and what do you think the number is for a to do a penalty turn at the finish, Dave?
I think we're going to need that lead
Well,
side.
I think upwind it's about 12 seconds, maybe 4 lengths. I think downwind it's about 16 seconds, about 5 lengths.
More work to do.
More downwind than upwind.
Yep.
I think it's marginal now for Chris. I think he's got to be careful not to go for the home run here. And then this is exactly what happened the first race, isn't it?
Copy.
Chris had the penalty split right, and Ian passed him on the left. It's exactly the same setup.
And both teams
Surprised
continuing.
that Ian Williams is splitting.
Copy.
So hard to watch these big splits.
Copy.
I'm so surprised that Ian is doing this. If it works, he looks great, but if it doesn't work,
Small left,
then
big
he'll
left.
say, what was I thinking?
So
Initially
you
big
can
left.
hear Williams saying
Feel
there,
like it's
small
gonna come
left,
back up,
big
but I'm
left.
not sure.
There is definitely pressure
Make
on
sure it's in the
Williams'
bank.
bow as he
Yeah, it
proceeds
stayed down at the
from
moment.
starboard.
The pressure's always out there to the left, but the angle
Yeah.
really
Attacking now.
advanced the right hand.
Stay in the
boat.
pressure,
Here
Sid.
comes
Yeah.
Ian Williams,
Good man.
attacking again. Remember how good he looked when these two had this last time, and then Poole was right back in there when the game came together. Poole was ahead, as Dave said, by 10 seconds at the mark round from the right.
Big game.
On board with Poole. Ooh, Williams is tacked. Here we go.
So a couple of little whispers there. I thought I heard Ian say he's killing me now, and Paul saying big wind up.
Still going yellow, yes?
Yeah.
Copy.
And that's what
Wow.
Dave Perry was talking about. It's okay to be maybe 4 or 5 boat lengths back, but you don't want to give them any more leverage and turn that into 10 or 12.
Copy.
It has got a little better already. I don't see him though. Oh. Yeah, he's a long way across.
We can see him.
He's a long way across.
Ian, you don't want to know. Just keep driving. Don't look.
He said you'll see him round the bow soon.
Painful.
So
There's no Charlie at the
downwind,
bottom,
yeah,
correct?
15 or 16 seconds is, I think, in this lighter stuff. is what
Long
you're gonna
port.
And we don't want that as spectators, Dave. Right? We want to see a real
Just
fist
about
fight
got
on our
enough
hands
now,
here.
so we need to make a gain.
Best thing
I
about
think
match racing, use the rules as a weapon. Attack the other boat. We kind of like that. Makes it more fun, right, Rosie?
Well,
Chris is a mile ahead now, so. Well, now he has to decide, does he jibe, get rid of the penalty upwind, which is the less of a penalty, and just defend the lead, or does he go for it
Copy going above.
and hope he has the same delta or more at the bottom? So
I think he's
he's
got.
going to be going for it because he can't do any part of telling the zone, so he's going to just go for it here.
2. 1.
We'll count here.
2,
1,
1, go hoist.
Poole with the set. Commanding lead.
4, 5,
You're going to be counting for a while, Dave.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
If those were Dave
12,
Perry's seconds, we'd be late for the start, I think. It's a little faster.
14,
Just saying.
15.
You're right? 16,
So he's-
17,
Chris has
8. It's just
fight.
going on and on. He's got it. I was just messing with you, Dave.
I know. We've heard all kinds of different seconds coming out of people on the race course.
Yeah,
in this regard.
We could have. You look at all this technology we have on the desk. We could have just put a watch on it, I suppose. But nobody thought of that. Either way, you would think he's got enough room to get rid of that penalty, and Ian Williams would not be happy with that as he rounds way behind. That's the point. No argument about it.
Ian's tactic was round the
Alright,
gate,
hold.
take the split, get up to speed and tack.
He did everything right except the tack part, Dave.
Yeah, I didn't quite fully execute that plan, but
Still looking for a game.
Joachim
Trying to go
Aschenbrenner
straight.
Joachim Aschenbrenner studying the race course there.
Massive pressure coming down.
And there he says, I was just going to say that's the quietest I've ever heard Joachim, but then he started talking.
We want Max waiting left, Jerry. Way faster than him. Nice here.
Way faster than him. And that is the righty filling down between the two oil islands.
Yeah, Poole has just gained on every leg, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Just spinning above the line.
He's in a different league speed-wise, particularly downwind over Ian Williams, who's watching this race slip away from him boat length by boat length as Poole jibes for the finish. It is still first to 3 points. We're tied at 1-all
Boat fire.
as Poole heads for home. But he's got to get rid of that penalty first.
Scotty, why don't you talk people through what Chris is going to do here to get rid of the penalty?
So because he is on a downwind
Get this Poole away
leg
early.
of the course, the penalty he needs to complete before the finish line is a tack
Plenty of room,
with
right,
the
Joachim?
head of the spinnaker on the deck, well, below the gooseneck, below the boom. So you'll see Poole's jib going up here very shortly.
Driving now.
So it will look like a bottom mark rounding where they go jib up and kite down, but then he needs to execute a spin right before the finish line. And the advantage of doing it at the finish line is that you don't need to get the boat back up to speed.
Give up, Pino.
Well, here we go.
Doesn't have to be perfect, just get
Check
it
what
up.
you guys think about the bias.
Jib going up on Poole's boat. The pole is already down. They are 1 length from the line now. Here comes the kite.
Spinning up. Get the head down, get the head down.
Get the head of the spinnaker down. So there's the head of the spinnaker
Chance to
down
point at
now.
him, right? Doesn't look like a great chance.
And
though.
spinning.
And there comes Williams from behind, but the penalty is now shed. And as he crosses the line, Chris Poole has done it. 2 points to 1 over Ian Williams in the finals.
Nice job, Bernie.
Very relaxed crew on board Poole and his team. 1 race away from a second Congressional Cup victory if they can win the next match. Meanwhile, Ian Williams, up against it, needs to win the next one for sure.
That's a great question that we have put in front of us, Tucker. Rosie, what do you think about that one?
yeah, someone just asked, could Poole potentially lose points because of the damage in the pre-start? That's definitely a consideration. We saw it in the semi-final with Ignat Johnson. We'll have to wait for the umpires to confirm on that.
That makes things a little bit interesting.
Do you guys know what the damage was? Nick lost a bit of a point.
Well, we don't know what the extent of it may or may not be, but we do know that we've got Ian Williams ready to do an interview live on the water. So let's go to him now.
Yeah, shame that one. We just had a problem with our leach line on the Janur, which was speed and was pretty significant. So that's a shame. But we'll get that fixed, and hopefully we can win the next race.
All right. Well, that Ian Williams chalks it all up to 1 leach line, but you don't use a leach line downwind, and that seems to be where he's slower. Anyway,
Ouch.
now we've got Chris Poole. Let's go live on board with him.
Yeah, we Yeah, the pre-start we had a good position on the boundary, but apparently the umpires felt Ian was entitled to room, which is a little bit of a surprise to our team, but unfazed by it. We were pretty happy with our start position. We had good lead, stayed close, and were able to roll Ian and stretch away on that downwind. So and then we extended and got to the favored side on the second upwind, as our tactician Joachim called, and from there we just stretched away and sailed fast.
Well, there you go. That pretty much sums it up. Now, Chris Poole sits 2 points to 1 over Ian Williams, first to win 3 points finals of the Congressional Cup. Give us a wave, folks. You are live. Everyone on the Belmont Pier, you're on TV around the world. There we go. More action to come, but first let's relive some of the moments from that last race. Scotty, here we go. Let's look at some replays.
In there.
Here it is. Here's the moment, the big impact.
Come on.
You can see the boats physically locked together there. It's Poole's push pit inside
There's no way
Ian's
there's
pull
room in
pit.
there.
And that goes back to the question, will Poole get penalised for damage? And if those...
Don't see a lot of damage there, do you?
Well, and he will get penalised. Poole, nice lee bow attack.
Yeah,
going
that was
up the
first
beat.
cross.
And this is where it looked like Williams was in charge, and he gives Poole a little luff. And
Poole rolled him. Now
that
that's
is with
Mark,
gate.
yep. Poole took the right-hand side, leaving Williams to go left. Advantage Poole as he rounds the top mark well ahead, enough to do his penalty turn victory with Jakob Massenbrenner smiling across the finish line in front of the fans of the Belmont Pier. Well, that was it. So, as you know, folks, this is usually where we take a very, very short break, and we jump right back in finals of the 59th Congressional Cup. Stay with us.